All right, so now we're recording. So welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have Michelle Boyd, who's my best friend and fellow coach, who's also going to join us on the call and co-host with me. But I just wanted to congratulate you guys on doing so awesome already halfway through the month. I can't believe it's already halfway through. When I realized that, I was like, we really need a team call. So thank you for joining us short notice. But Team Cup, I guess most of you on here are on our Team Cup, but if you're not, you're hopefully on a team, and if you're not, that's okay. We wanted to just talk about the 4 vital behaviors this month. It's the core of our business, and it's things that we overlook at times, and I just think that we need to get back to the core of our business and just really, press on them and just, make sure we're doing all of the things we're supposed to be doing to be successful. Our Team Cup has 9 points so far, which is yay! So that's great so far, but we're going to crush that. I hope that we'll at least double that, if not more. But don't forget that there's so many things on sale this month, and if you didn't know, a lot of the things that are on sale through October. So Beachbody is making it very easy for us, which is so nice. We've been begging for the fix to be on sale, which should permanently be on sale, in my opinion. But so not only to put the fix on sale, we've got Country Heat that just launched, which is so much fun. A lot of us are doing it. I'm halfway through, and I'm about to post my halfway mark, and I'm actually seeing a difference, which I was nervous about. We have, what else? We've got Pio on sale. We have the 21-day fix extreme size, the 21-day, the 3-day refresh, 22-minute hardcore, and Beachbody On Demand is also on sale as a challenge pack. So you can get the Shakeology and try out Beachbody On Demand, which is really cool. So all of those things are on sale through October. So, know your customer and know your clientele. If there's got to be one of those programs that will work for them, so make sure you're mentioning those kinds of things. So I think we're just going to get right into the meat of the call. And, you've heard it a million times, like I said, and if you've been through the Coach Basics, which some of you have, maybe even a couple times, but we added a 4th vital behavior. There used to be the 3 vital behaviors. Invite, be proof the products work, personal development, and now we added the 4th vital behavior, which is recognition. So Michelle and I are going to kind of split it up a little bit. She is co-hosting with me. I'm going to start off and just talk about the invite portion. So as coaches, if you're on this call, you want to grow your business. You want to, whether it's just to cover your Shakeology or whether it's to grow an income, you're on this call for a reason. So in order to do that, you need to invite people, whether you are talking by word of mouth or whether you are posting on your Facebook page or whatever social media platform you're on, or if you are sending personal messages or emails or whatever, form of correspondence you want to use. But these are things that you should be doing every single day. And I will say that some days I don't do it and I'm like, oh my gosh. But you should always be doing this every single day. And we have a form called the Power of 3, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to share it with you. That helps break it down for you very easily. If you don't have a power hour, you should be thinking about that, or at least moving into that. If you don't have an hour to give a day, that's okay. If you work full time, but if you're giving even a half an hour extra, whatever you can give to this business to help you grow is going to help you be successful. So a lot of you work full time. I personally stay home, but a lot of you guys work, and that's awesome. So you're going to have to squeeze it in at other times, whether it's getting up early in the morning or it's staying up later at night. Whether it's working on your lunch break, eating your lunch and doing your messaging. But you have to figure out how to squeeze it in. This business is not easy. It's not, you're not going to become a millionaire overnight. So if it was, everyone would be doing it. So this is not something that you can do for a month, and if you don't see success, you quit, because you may not have success your first month. It may take you 3 months. It may take you 4. You may right off the bat have success your first month. That's amazing. But being consistent in this business is what's going to get you success. So getting into the groove of doing these things every single day is going to get you far, and you're going to be successful. So when you're inviting people, you should be forming. And of course, talking face-to-face about products and how they work for you. And a lot of times, the way we start this business is we've done a program, we've had a transformation, and everyone's asking what you're doing. That's how I started. A lot of us have started that way. And if you haven't, that's fine. But usually you are very passionate and you want to talk about the business and talk about, how it's working for you. So it makes it very easy and natural face-to-face. And that's the easiest connection you can make with people. And getting more consistent on social media is very important. A lot of us come into this business and are very scared and very nervous about, sharing and posting. I never post on social media, and we've all been there. So you're not alone, but definitely just get used to it. You just press post and you don't look back. So whether it's sharing your before and after results, or if it's inviting to your first challenge group, or just something inspirational, and don't be nervous. We've all posted and been like, have no likes. Like, nobody liked my post, nobody commented. Oh my gosh, I suck at this business. Like, I still have that. It still happens sometimes, but who cares? The more you do it, the easier it gets, and the more people are going to see that you're passionate about the business, and then they're going to want to go on this journey with you. So that's a way to be inviting. But you have to be thinking forward in this business. Thinking about your next challenge group, thinking about your next sneak peek for coaching, you always have to be thinking ahead. So when you're posting, or even when you're messaging, don't always just say, would you like to join me? And it's a lot better to put an end date, so people have like a sense of urgency. So if you're saying, join me on this journey, my next group starts on August 30th, and I have 5 spots left, and make sure, like I said, you're putting a date there, and don't be afraid to pick a date. If you pick a date and you have no one, then oh well, but at least you put it out there and people can plan, because they might say, oh, I've got a trip coming up, or oh, I can't do that date, but at least they're starting to think about a date and actually think about purchasing. Same thing when you're messaging people. So you should be forming. So those are the first 2 steps: face-to-face on social media, and also via private message, email, or whatever avenue you choose. So this can be a little bit scary, but it does get easier. So you should be sending messages out. Maybe some of you are newer. Maybe you only have time for 5 messages a day. I personally am up to my goal is 20 a day, because I need to grow more. I'm not getting the feedback I need to get, and I'm also doing a lot more of my cold market. So I've upped mine to 20 people a day. Do I always get 20? No. But what this means is going through your friends list, and friends and family, or people that you don't even really know, but they're friends with you on Facebook, and reaching out to them and forming a relationship with them. We are not salesy in this business. Hold on one second. I'm just going to mute one more. If you send a message, hey, you want to buy this challenge pack from me? Like if you're something like that, then no one's going to buy from you. But if you start to say, hey, how are the kids? School just started back. It's been crazy for me. I'm sure it has been for you too. And just kind of start a conversation like that. And then you kind of go back and forth. They'll start to maybe watch your page. So sometimes before I do that, I go to their page, I look at their page and see, oh, they just went to Lake Tahoe. Oh my gosh, your trip looked amazing. I comment on a couple of pictures. Oh, the kids look great, whatever it is. And then I go and send them a message, and I talk to them about what I saw on their page. Oh, you just had a baby. How are you feeling? How's mommy life? Whatever. And then again, they start to then see your stuff on your page and start to follow you. And so hopefully at some point you'll get to Beachbody. My favorite thing is with the moms that just had the baby, oh my gosh, how are you doing with your baby weight? Are you cleared for working out? And I start to getting the whole, I can help you lose your baby weight. I can help you with your nutrition. That's a very easy way to bring that up. I can help you make time for you, 30 minutes a day, whatever it is that you try to pick up in the conversation. If you get that back and forth that, oh, I don't have time, I'm so busy. Oh, guess what? The workouts are only 25 to 30 minutes a day, so you'll figure out a way to work it into the conversation. But there's also some cold messages you can send. If you don't know the person, you're friends with them on Facebook, I'm going through this right now. It's really hard to do, but I'm telling you, it will help you in the long run. again, going to their page and just being like, you know, I was talking to Melissa today, and we were talking about if you go to their page and you can't figure out really anything about them, if they're just sharing pictures or sharing, you know, recipes or sharing, but nothing about themselves, start the conversation with, hey, I see we have, you know, so-and-so and so-and-so friends in common. You know, have we met in person, or are we just friends with mutual, do we have just mutual friends, you know, and see, have we met in person before? And they may write you back and say no. Oh, yes, we have. And then that's the start of the conversation. You know, they might be like, no, I don't know who you are. You're crazy. And you might just be like, okay, never mind. And you go on to the next person. But just think of ways that you can approach them and be relatable without being salesy, and then eventually work into the Beachbody stuff. What else? So, you know, continuing to form, and eventually if they say not right now or whatever, then put them on your like next month, save them for next month, and you go back and reach them. Oh, I can't this month, next month, blah, blah, blah. Or I'm gonna get paid next week, put them on your calendar, you know. Or another easy way is if you have a free challenge group coming up, it's very easy to do cold messaging for that. You can just say, you know, I'm doing an abs challenge. Would you like to get your abs, you know, in check for the rest of the summer, blah, blah, blah. Everyone wants to do something free. So that's an easy way to invite someone to a challenge group, at least get them started in the fitness journey and get used to the challenge groups and get used to the accountability and see what you do, and see what you have to offer as a coach. Show that you're valuable and show that you can really offer them something to change their life. So, but I'm going to do a screen share real quick and show you my power of 3. But those are all the ways that you should be inviting. And like I said, if you're not, I think that what tends to happen is people put the messaging aside, but you really need to be messaging every day. And if you don't do it the weekends, that's fine, but at least do the 5 days a week. Because if you're messaging 5 people a day, you might only get 1 response. You might get no responses. So if you're doing that every single day, people are going to start responding, and again, start watching your page. Okay, so let me do a screen share real quick. I have a bunch of things open, so hopefully it's not, okay, let's see. Can you guys see this? Michelle, can you answer? Because I can't see everything.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay. I kind of revised this a little bit based on like some of the original ones we've had before. So this is a simple document that you can print out or just do it if you're better on the computer. So it breaks it out by the days, and it breaks it into a category of each thing you should be doing in your power hour. So adding friends, you should be expanding your network, because if you're doing the same stuff over and over, the same people are going to see your stuff and you're never going to grow your business. So you want to be adding at least 3 new friends a day. Or if you choose to do like add 20 people at once, fine. You can take a couple of days off and not do it, but on average 3 people a day. Then messaging non-Beachbody related, that's forming. That's just, how are the kids? How is your trip? How's the new job? How's the family? How, you know, anything. Then inviting to a challenge group. So like I mentioned earlier, is that you should always be thinking ahead. If you're in the middle of a challenge group now, it's time to start posting about the next one. I run challenge groups every 3 weeks. If you don't have a group, join my group. I'm always welcome to have any of you coaches. So always be thinking ahead, like I said. And they don't have to be related to one certain program. We always have a general fix group. And if you're doing the fix, it kind of works with a lot of our programs. And we keep that going. Right now we have a country heat group going. So if anyone wants country heat, they can jump into that group. But otherwise it's kind of like a mishmash group, which is totally fine because the nutrition is pretty much the same. So 3 people there, and then follow up. So, you know, you sent messages to someone and they said, yeah, let me think about it. Now it's time to follow up with them and find out if they need more information. Do they need a video? Do they need, what is it that they need? Break down the pricing, you know, so make sure you're following up with those people. And presenting the business opportunity. This is a hard one. I know people get really nervous about this, but again, if you're on this call, it's because you want to grow your business. And if it's whether you want to just cover your Shakeology every month, or if it's whether you want to grow be a business builder and, you know, quit your job and have a full-time income, you need to be presenting the business opportunity. Now, if you're a new coach and you're like, I don't know what to say. I only make, $100 a month, or that's fine. Then talk about everyone else in our business. Talk about what our team has done. We're an elite team. Talk about that Kara was a lawyer and she's quitting her job. Talk about, there's so many things you can talk about, and I can help you with those ideas. But there's other ways that you can talk about the business and talk about what it's done for you, that, you've dropped 30 pounds and your whole family's healthy now. You're all working out together, just talk about how it's changed your life. It doesn't have to be a financial thing. Pick one of the vital behaviors, now you're doing personal development and you're such a happier person, so there's so many things that you can talk about when presenting it. But just because they haven't joined a challenge group, or that's the easiest way. If they joined a challenge group, you want to try to convert the challengers into a coach. But just because they haven't, maybe they're into fitness, or maybe they have to lose a lot of weight, and you think if they start this journey and start drinking the Shakeology and doing the workouts, they could be a good coach. Approach them too, so don't be afraid to ask people out of the blue. Just be like, you know what, you're always so positive on Facebook. You're always, posting all these great things. And I think that you'll be so inspirational to other people. Things like that. You could also offer to people to join you as a coach. And then here, your vital behaviors. Are you doing your workout? Are you drinking your Shakeology? Are you doing your personal development? And are you treating this business like a biz? So we actually need to add in their recognition. So every day you should be checking those off. And if you're not doing them every day, then you're not being proof that the products work. So you want to make sure that you're doing that every single day. We all have days we miss. We all have things that happen, and that's fine. But I don't want to talk too much about that because that's a lot more of what Michelle's going to talk about. But you don't want to be inconsistent all the time. So I will post this in the group so you guys can have access to this document. But I think that I've taken up a lot of time talking about all of this stuff, but it's a big part of the business. So I wanted to make sure that I touched on it pretty well. Does anyone maybe I'll ask questions at the end. Save your questions to the end, but I am going to stop the share and switch it over to Michelle. I don't know if I have to change you to host.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can just go on ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. If it gives you a problem, I'm going to look for the host thing as we go. But so I'm going to turn it over to Michelle. So as I mentioned, she's my best friend. Yay. We've known each other for, oh my gosh, I don't want to date us, but it's been a long time, since college. We're sorority sisters. She's a mom of 3. She lives in Pensacola. She works full-time as a lawyer. So she is busy. So anyone that thinks that they're too busy and to this business is wrong. So she's been a rock star and she's on fire. So I really wanted her to help host with me tonight. So over to you, Michelle.
Thank you. That was very sweet. Yeah. I'm so excited to share with you guys some things that I've learned in my, I guess I'm up to 10 months of being a coach, close to it. So it's been quite an adventure, quite a journey. And I continue to learn every single day. One of the things that Jenny was talking about in forming relationships, I just wanted to give kind of my, perspective on that real quick. That Power of 3 document is something that I've really struggled with. I'm a very organized person, but something about that just hasn't clicked with me. And so I've just now started to really kind of dig into that document and try to use it more effectively. I've been one of those that will message a bunch of people over a weekend and then not do any for a long time. And that works for me. I don't want to be salesy. I mean, I know none of us do. That's not what this is about for me. Frankly, it's never been about the money. Although now that I've been in and I see the potential, of course, that's definitely a driver. But I really am genuinely trying to get to know people and reconnect with them. And I think that people can feel that when it's not, they don't see a hidden agenda. So one thing that I do that has been successful, and I just want to share this little tip with you, and I know those of you who've been coaches for a while have heard this, but when it's someone's birthday on Facebook, I private message them. I mean, it's that simple. I just, instead of posting on their wall, I private message them and say, hey, I just did it this week. Hey, Debbie, happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. That's it. Just so that they get that personal, touch from me. And I kid you not, I have sold more than a few challenge packs by by people who I haven't even talked to in 10 or 15 years, just doing something simple like that. So it took months and months of doing that before I actually did sell one. So I think the consistency in your other vital behaviors also helps, but it does spark the conversation. So like Jenny said, just genuinely asking people about their life, and not expecting anything from them and not making them feel like you are is one thing that's been very successful for me. So I just wanted to piggyback on that and say that. So, okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys about the second vital behavior, which is, let's see, I'm going to try and share my screen too here. Let me know if you can see it.
Yep.
Okay. So the second vital behavior is be proof the products work. So this whole vital behavior is about you putting yourself out there and showing people that you are doing the workout programs, you're drinking the shakes, you're showing up every day, and showing people that you're passionate about the products because they work. They work for you. It never ceases to amaze me, the people who reach out to me very hesitantly, very skeptically. I'm not really sure if I want to do this. And I talk to them about the 21-day fix, because for me, that nutritional aspect is what most people are missing in their life. I mean, some people who go to the gym, I have one recently who'd been to a nutritionist and she was going to the gym, but everything just wasn't meshing. And she reached out to me and I said, look, I think if you will just try the 21-day fix and have all of that packaged in together, the nutrition, the workouts, and the shakes, I really think you can break through your plateau. And in the first week, she hadn't lost a pound in months. And in the first week, she lost like 5 pounds. So it's so important to share that, and sometimes for me, I'm pretty much at my goal. I mean, I always want to do better. I always want to do another program. But as far as my weight, I feel like, I'm kind of where I want to be. But I continue to share not just my story, but the stories of my challengers to show people, that there's success in it. But for you personally, consistency is key. They need to see that you're doing your workouts, whether that's a workout post in the morning or how you fit it in, how you make it, fit into your schedule. And that's hard for me. I don't like to wake up early. I am not a morning person. I really want to be, and I'm really trying to be, but it is so hard for me to get a workout in the morning. So I do mine at night and then I post about it. And like Jenny said, sometimes people like it, sometimes people don't. I try to include my kids in it because I automatically get more attention when my children are involved. I mean, that's just the way it goes. They don't want to see me. They want to see the kids, which is fine. But I'm showing them consistently that I'm staying on track. I've made it a habit, and I'm drinking my shakes, however I can fit that in. I don't do that as much as I probably should, but it is very important for people to see your consistency. So all you have to do is share what you're doing. If you decided to do a 21-day fix again, you've done it a few times, just announce it. Say, you know what, I'm committing to this program. I'm going to make it, my priority for the next 21 days, and sort of just take them on a trail with you. You don't have to post about it every single day, but you can if that fits into your lifestyle and your posting schedule. But just showing them that you're actually doing it is huge, because a lot of people think, especially for new coaches that come in and have a great success and they're sharing, people are watching and going, sure, that's great. She lost a few pounds or she lost a lot of weight, but they want to see that you're going to keep doing it for months and months and months and months. So continuing to do that, whether people are paying attention, they're watching you. And the more consistent you are, the more, they're probably going to reach out to you at some point in the future. Okay, so I stole this from the Beachbody website. One thing that this vital behavior does is it builds your confidence and it builds your integrity to invite people. So when they see that you're doing it over and over and over again, they'll probably say, oh, that's awesome. I could never do that. I'm so impressed by blah, blah, blah. You just making sure you message everyone back and chat with them or leave a comment, being consistent in that as well will help you show them that you're kind of the real deal. Okay, and I wanted to share this with you because I'm going to challenge my team to do this. Jenny's already challenged our team up the upline. But while we were at Summit, Carl Dyko, the CEO of Beachbody, challenged all of us to write this down and post about it, basically. pick a program that you're going to do from start to finish and write it down and say, this is what I'm going to do this year from start to finish. It could be more than one program. And that I'm going to drink my Shakeology every single day. So that's what I'm going to challenge each of you to do. If you haven't picked a program yet for the rest of the year, pick one. I'm going to do Country Heat right now, and I'm sure I'll do another one before the year's end. And drink my Shakeology every day. I really try to drink the shakes every day. I'm not going to lie. On the weekends, for some reason, I forget. It's like I have a routine during the week, and then on the weekends, it's very hit or miss. So I'm trying to do that as well, to be proof of the products because they work. So, okay, I'm going to stop sharing because I'm going to come back to that one in a minute. So that is my bit on being proof that the products work.
Perfect. That was awesome. Love it. So now I'm going to talk to you about recognition. Is that right? I thought I was ending with that, but.
Oh, maybe it's me again. And
I think that you're doing personal development. I think we kind of messed that up because I was going to end with recognition. Unless you want me to do next. I don't care.
Let me just keep going and then you can finish.
All right.
I'll get my part.
Because you have your slides up anyway. I don't have slides for mine.
Okay. So personal development. This is actually my favorite vital behavior. And it was one that I didn't really kind of get in the beginning because I was like, oh yeah. I mean, I love personal development. I always love going to like leadership conferences and things like that. But it's not like something that I was seeking out in everyday life. But for me now, this is priority number one. This drives every single thing that I do. It drives my motherhood. It drives me being a better wife. It drives me being a better employee, and definitely drives me in this business. And a lot of my posts that kind of are a little bit deeper, they come from something I've pulled from personal development. So for me, if I'm kind of off and wondering, especially in the first 6 months of this business, I was either way up here or way down there thinking, what the heck am I doing? Or I'm like, yes, this is awesome. People love this. I am so into this. So I've been like this the entire time up until just very recently, actually up until right before Summit. And just wondering, is this really what I want to do? Why am I putting myself out there? But every time I start to feel like that, I go back to personal development. And so that can be anything you want it to be. Basically, you can pick a subject, and there are tons of books and podcasts and more information you can ever imagine about whatever it is you want to build. If you want to know more about network marketing, then there's a book called GoPro. It's awesome. I just listen to it on my way to work, to and from work on my commute. That's when I do most of my personal development because that's the only time I really have alone in the car is after I drop off kids and drive to work. So even if it's just 20 minutes there and back, that bit of time gets in your head, and so much of this business is mental and where you are mentally that it just bleeds out into everything else, which is so cool. So I'll be in my car and I'll hear something in my personal development, whatever I'm listening to, and I will pull out my phone and do a voice memo right then and record it. And that way it gives me an idea for a post, and I'll go back later and look at my notes, and then say, okay, I'm going to build a post around whatever that idea was. So if you are not doing this, I definitely recommend they're all very important, but this is where you should start. If you don't know where to start, I suggest my new coaches to start listening to the National Wake Up Calls. There's a podcast for those. Of course, you can listen to them live. It's hard for me to do that because I work. I'm already at work at the time that those are going on live. So I listen to the podcast, which is really nice because you can kind of fast forward through some of the stuff, like all the announcements of the million names of people who have advanced in rank, which is very cool. But, time is precious. So I kind of have to get to the point. And there's about a 20-minute block of a coach, and they're all top coaches who will talk about some subject. They usually tell their story, which is always inspirational. And they usually will have a topic for the day where they'll talk about social media or, whatever it may be. Every single one of those that I've listened to, I've pulled something out of it that's very useful. So that's a great place to start if you don't know where to start. The other option is reading 10 pages a day, or listening, I say 10 minutes a day to a podcast. So everybody can do this. 10 minutes a day, that is really all it takes. That's all it takes for your brain to just soak in something positive. Because when you're hearing in the positive of, I can do this, I want to do this, I know I'm helping people, rather than all of the negativity that comes from Facebook and your friends and, those feelings of, I know they're talking about me. I know that they're, saying she's fallen off the deep end. What is she doing? Those are the things, those are the battles that I face in my head all the time. But when you get to the point where you don't care about that anymore because you've seen the success, you've watched people's lives change, then it just doesn't matter anymore. So let's see, I think that is it. Oh, I also put this on here, a quote: "Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals." And I think that's so good. I mean, all of this is just about consistency. So if you're showing up every day, people are not going to want to follow you if you're inconsistent. They're just not. And while it may feel like it's annoying at first, and I was the same way, I told Jenny, I was like, okay, here's the deal. Not big on posting social media. I'm just not. So my goal is to post 2 times a week. That's what I told Jenny, 2 to 3 times a week. And that's probably all you're going to get from me. And that's where I started. And you know what? That was perfect for me because my personality, I needed to build confidence in myself. And I didn't want to just go bleh on people, and because I didn't feel like that would be very genuine of me. So I just started slowly. And then that built to, once a day. I remember texting her the day I was like, I posted every single day this week. And that was months into the business. So, it's whatever works for you, I think is the most important thing. But being consistent, I wrote down that goal every single week. I'm going to post 2 or 3 times a week. And then I moved it to, I'm going to post once a day. I would write it down every week. And then it was, I'm going to post 2 times a day. So those little bits of consistency are what will lead you to success here. And whatever it is for you, just dropping little breadcrumbs and sharing your story. These 2 vital behaviors are so, so, so important. So I challenge you to pick your program, to write it down, to share it, and also set yourself some goals on how you're going to be more consistent.
Yay! Love it. So perfect. And she's absolutely right when she talks about her social media posting. And I was like, since she's my best friend, I can give her tough love, but she was like, I'm just going to post twice a week. I'm like, okay, you know what, Michelle, you do what you need to do. And she worked her way up. And now it's like, she's a well-oiled machine. So, do what you need to do to get yourself comfortable. But just to touch on her personal development discussion, she's so right when she talks about figuring out what's best for you. And if it means getting up early in the morning and reading, that's great. I'm not a reader, but I do try to always have a book on hand and a book on audio as well. So when I'm in the car, I love my music, but I do the same thing as her. I don't really have a long drive to work, but anytime I'm in the car, I have the audio on. When I'm doing the dishes, I stay at home. I work at home. I stay at home. And so when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm doing the laundry, it's on. I always have something on audio. Some people blast it while in the shower. Melanie Mitro gets up in the morning while she's brushing her teeth and getting dressed. She puts on her Darren Daily or whatever it is in the morning. Like, figure that out because that is so important, like she said, for this business. A lot of new coaches struggle with like belief and, can I do this? Am I good enough? So find those good personal development books and podcasts or whatever it is that really strengthen that side of you. Because once you get that under control, everything else is going to get a lot easier. And that will show in your posts too. So,
and I'm sorry, you wanted me to share this too that I've been listening to. Just real quick, if you haven't read "You Are a Badass" by Jen Sincero, you need to buy that. That is a great place to start. It's so motivating. And I'm also, for those of you who work, I'm reading a book called Quitter by John Acuff. And this one's taken me a little bit longer to get through, but it's basically about bridging the gap between your day job and your dream job and why you need to like your day job in order to get to your dream job. It's really good. It's very, for those of us who are kind of analytical and logical, it makes a lot of sense and keeps you focused on, like Jenny said, we want to hit success like immediately, but this thing is a marathon. I mean, you got to settle in and know that it's going to take some time. So that's also a really good book that I'm reading right now.
Exactly. I agree. I think that sounds amazing. I haven't read that one, but I can definitely agree with you on the You Are a Badass. And that is a good one for belief, for self-confidence, for there's so many things. And there's so many good one-liners. I remember listening to that while I'm driving like you, and I'm like, crap, I can't text. What was that part again? Like, yeah. So the voice memo, I like that idea because that way you can go back and use that as the core of your post coming up. So yes. So the fourth vital behavior I'm going to touch on is recognition. So they just added this one. I'm glad they did because as you all know, this business is such a recognition-based company. So, if you rank advance, if you do this, if you hit your highest paycheck, so I love that we can recognize everyone for every little thing. And it just, from a negative world that we're in right now, I just feel like we're in such a positive place with this business that if you don't feel good about yourself, then you're missing everything in this business. So there's so many ways to bring yourself up. And I feel like that's what I love is that if it's whether you ran your first marathon or if it's, I don't know, lost 20 pounds or you had your first sale, or there's just so many things that we can recognize each other for. And it doesn't have to be Beachbody related either. It could just be you bought a new house, recognize that on the team page, and some of you may not have team pages yet, and that's okay. That's like the broader spectrum. We recognize Success Club at the end of the month. We recognize all those things. Those are all the bigger scale things, but bring it down to a very basic newer coach level, your challengers and your challenge groups. Get to know them. And if they are doing well, recognize them in the group. We have a top challenger this week. She's posted every day. She's done every workout this week. The group that we're in right now, some of you are all in it with us, but we did a point schedule and we recognized everyone every day got points. And then we did a prize at the end. And it's like, everyone's seeing their names on that list, that they're actually getting points. It's recognizing them because they're doing a good job, because everyone hates a quiet challenge group, right? Everyone hates that. So, and it doesn't have to necessarily be in the challenge group. It can be privately. Congratulations. I can't believe you're fitting into those jeans you haven't worn since before you had the baby. Oh my gosh. I've really noticed that you're checking in every day, and we do booms in our groups. A lot of you probably know what they are, but you do a boom every day. If you do your workout and they're putting that on there every day, they're doing the workout. Those are all important things. But when you're noticing that stuff and you're telling them, you're recognizing them, you're making them feel good about themselves. So they're also getting like a little taste of Beachbody and how we work our business, that they're going to get recognized a lot more if they coach or they stay on with us. So, just because you're a new coach or just because you don't have a huge list of customers or a huge team, doesn't mean you can't recognize in some way. And so find that way to do it in the challenge groups or privately. Is there anything else that I missed for that, Michelle? No?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that's all the vital behaviors, and that's all we have for you guys tonight. But I will open it up for anyone who has any questions for us. Anyone? You can message them in the chat if you want to. And like I said, I will also post the 3 vital or the Power of 3 document on our team page. And Michelle, you can share it with some of your coaches if they're not in there by any chance. But I was an accountant, so for me, like seeing all the things and going check, 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 I'm a list person, and I don't always have it in front of me, but when I do have it, I'm much more likely to get it done and get those done for the day. So it's very helpful. Okay, let's see. I see Haley. What was the second book? Oh, she got it. Quitter. Yay. Well, I'm so glad you guys were all on today. I love seeing your faces and hearing your voices. Let's take a quick picture before we get off. I look terrible. I'm in my pajamas and I just took a shower, so don't worry. I'm going to do it from my screen.
She's always beautiful.
Okay, ready? Smile. I hope it took. I didn't hear anything. I don't know. Let me try it one more time. There we go. All right, guys. So have a good night and have a great rest of the week. And we'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.